All right, for this deck tech down here at the Jankyard, we're playing Sultai Double Thief. Uh, this deck is all about thieves, and stealing your opponent's stuff, but doubling it with the Panharmonicon effect. Although no Panharmonicon yet in Arena, but still, we can do some awesome stuff. We start with 3 Thieves Guild Enforcers. There is a rogue sub-theme in this deck. So it's a 1-1 human rogue with flash for 1 mana. Whenever it or another rogue enters the battlefield under your control, each opponent mills 2 cards. Keep that in mind, that's an ETB trigger. Enters the battlefield trigger, so that's useful. And we got the 4 Land of War Elves. 1 Heartless Act for removal. 3 Uner's Blackguards, Fairy Rogue, so each rogue creature you control enters the battlefield with an additional +1/+1 counter on it. Whenever a creature you control with +1/+1 counter on it deals combat damage to a player, that player discards a card. Good stuff to have. 1 Paradise Druid for ramping. 3 Assassin's Trophy to kill stuff, to slow things down, because you do want to slow them down a bit. 3 Growth Spirals to ramp up. Uro to ramp up, but also that he's got to enter the battlefield trigger, which would trigger twice. Thassa to bounce them and bring it back and do its ETB triggers again. This is the whole reason we made the deck. I love this card in Kaladesh. When I saw they were putting it in Jumpstart, I was tickled pink. I love Gonti. 2 and 2 black for an Aetherborn Rogue. Death Touch. It's a 2/3, and when it enters the battlefield, look at the top 4 cards of opponent's library. Exile 1 of them face down, then put the rest in the bottom of that library in a random order. You may look at that card, and for as long as it remains exiled, and you may spend mana as though it were mana of any type to cast that spell. Love this card. Used to use it with Panharmonicon, so it would, that ETB trigger of looking at 4 would trigger twice. I did that against the Mardu Vehicles deck one time, and I took a Chandra and a Gideon, and then the second time I think I took a removal spell and a Heart of Kirin. It's just awesome. Got Rankle because it's a rogue. It's just a solid card too. Ravenous Chupacabra, it's not a rogue, but it's got an ETB trigger, which we'd love to double up. 1 Massacre Girl, which with the ETB trigger pretty much ensures you wipe out the whole board. And the whole reason I'm talking about double here is 4 Yarok the Desecrated. This is the Panharmonicon effect. If a permanent entering the battlefield causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers an additional time. And just to really finish things off, this worked for me the other day. I was using this deck and it went off. Massacre Wurm. When it enters the battlefield, creatures your opponents control get -2/-2 until end of turn. Whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, that player loses 2 life. So if you've got Yarok out, that gives your opponent's creatures -4/-4. That's amazing. We got a couple Castle of Vantress, couple Lochthwain, Swamp, Forest, Watered Grave, Tomb, Temple of Malady, Woodland Cemetery, Breeding Pool, Hinterland Harbor, and 3 of the Sultai Triomes. And it's a best of 1 for Historic right now, so we don't have a sideboard. But that is Sultai Double Thief. I played it at a tournament this weekend. It's a lot of fun. So definitely give it a try. It's not the most consistent because of the 3 ofs and 1 ofs, but man, is it fun.